Hey everyone, it's Jake Hall, the Manufacturing Millennial. Last week, I had an opportunity to go visit a local community college right here in my city. Grand Rapids Community College has a mechatronics, automation, and robotics program set up, along with a lot of other skilled trades that are retooling and educating the existing and future workforce around the manufacturing industry. I got a great tour from Patrick Van Otteren. He is the department head and the associate professor of GRCC, and he works with the electrical and controls technology division. And really, I just went in there to figure out, what are they doing? What does the workforce that they're training look like? What are they doing that's impacting the industry? How are they getting involved? And more importantly, how are you able to, as a manufacturer, get involved with your local community colleges and make an impact? So let's dive in. Let's walk the floor together. Let's go visit some of the classrooms and learn what's changing in manufacturing. So I see a bunch of different cells here, different modules, part storage, torquing, robotic. What are we covering here? What are the students learning?
What the idea behind this is an amateur purchase line for us. Essentially what we're doing is what they try to do is they break these down in little pieces. So each one of these stations separate, and a student takes and pulls this over to his desk.
Okay.
They spend actually 2 full class periods on one station, programming it, developing it, coming up with solutions to make it work. And then the next week, they grab the next station over, and they go through the same thing again until after basically 7 weeks, we get through the 7 stations, and then the last week of class, we tie them all together. We network everything together as one, and it works as a whole, as a line, as one unit.
So as we were discussing, one of the questions that I brought up to Patrick was, how are you training your students? Is it on the latest technology, or is it equipment that's been in the industry? And the answer was both. He says, listen, we are creating programs that are going to allow people who exit this program to fix equipment and manage what's happening on the manufacturing floor. A lot of the manufacturing floor right now does not have the latest, greatest processors, PLCs, and equipment. They're going to train them on the existing equipment that's on manufacturing floors so they can problem solve the errors, the faults, and the issues that they're going to arise on a daily basis. They also talk about how they work with the advisory board at GRCC. So there's a bunch of local manufacturers here in Grand Rapids that are part of a board that are advising them on what's changing in the industry. One of those that came up was IT/OT. How are they taking the existing equipment that's currently out there and pulling data from it?
So that's why I went with the 5380 processor and the Ethernet module here. So before, what I had was an older processor plugged in the front of this guy, and it was just pretty much plug into that and get the unit up and operational. Now they have to plug into this guy, get it connected to this Ethernet module, and then configure the I/O cards in that module before they can begin programming. So it's one more step to better understanding the networking technology.
So Patrick did a really awesome job giving me a tour. It's like a 30-minute long video. I wish I could share it here completely on LinkedIn, but it was a really good discussion. And eventually, when we were going to some different classrooms, some great conversations came up about who his current students were. And I think the answer might surprise you as much as it did me. So when we're looking at these students, Patrick, what is the age of them? Tell me more, because when I walked past the class when they were getting out there, they looked like they were my age. They looked like they were mid-30s.
Mid-30s, that's my average age.
So the average age for students who are joining this mechatronics program
are mid-30s.
Are mid-30s.
Yeah. Most of my students are people that have tried something else and decided what they've got isn't working. So they came back to school, tried to find a better way to make a living, and manufacturing and controls is the path that they chose. Is the path they chose.
It's so interesting, because you would think of, coming to a community college like where we're at right now, that it'd be kids coming right out of high school, and this is what they're entering. But it's different, right? The industry of people who've been in the workforce for a long time, and then realization has come to the fact where they can't get jobs that either will hire them with their current skill set or will pay them what they want to be paid. And they're looking at this as a reskilling. Now, how many of this is students coming here on their own versus maybe a existing manufacturer or machine builder or company maybe actually paying them to say, hey, we want you to go and, be educated here?
I want to say it's probably it's probably leans a little heavier on the manufacturers going the companies in the area saying, hey, if we'll pay you to come back to school. I think that's probably a little on the heavier side. So we're probably like a 60-40 type.
So people who go to work for a manufacturer, and then that manufacturer is then paying for them to go back to school,
exactly,
to get re-educated. Yes. So then that manufacturer can take those skills they learned and then apply them to help the company. Yeah. So wrapping up this video, there was a lot more we talked about. We checked out their robotics lab that has a bunch of Fanuc robots where they're actually a certified trainer. So people can go there at night during the week, get trained instead of having to go across the state to Fanuc's main headquarters and have the opportunity to learn how to program robots. And it's a great experience for that. They also have the 3D printing lab. So we talked about additive manufacturing a little bit, but more importantly, I want to leave some questions in this video where you're wanting more. And I want you to want more for you to go out, go to your local community college, go to your university, go to your career training center, find out what they're doing to train the future workforce. You get involved with their local advisory board. Figure out if you're a manufacturer of automation components, what are you doing to have the future career of students who are learning this in the automation space learn about your product? There's a lot of Rockwell Automation here. Where are the other manufacturers at? What are you doing to get involved with the future workforce to train what we need to really battle this 2.8 million jobs we're going to have unfulfilled in the next 5 to 6 years because we simply don't have the skill and the knowledge to reach what we're going to be at in the manufacturing industry. Well, that's about it for this video. I'm going to catch you in the next one. Of course, if you have any questions, reach out to me. But my challenge for you is get involved with your local community colleges, your universities, your training centers, and let's change manufacturing together.